Did you know there are 8 limbs to the yoga practice, and only one of them is the physical asana practice? So, really, you could say that the physical asana practice is only 1/8 of the whole yoga science. My name is Christina Raskin, and I'm here to chat with you about the 8 limbs of yoga. I'm the founder of Soul Thrive Yoga, and at Soul Thrive Yoga, we really are passionate about the whole science of yoga. We love the physical practice, but we also love the other 8 limbs. And all of us here have really transformed through this practice, so we want to share it all with you. So the 8 limbs of yoga are outlined in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. This is one book of the sutras, but there are many, many, many. Yoga Sutras is an ancient text, about 3,000 to 5,000 years old. All the books you'll find of the Yoga Sutras are the actual sutras translated and then commentary about the sutras. So this one in particular, Satchidananda is doing the commentary. And as you can tell, mine is very well loved. I've had it for many years. Every time you read through the sutras, it's just such a wealth of knowledge and wisdom. There's new layers unfolded all the time. So the 8 limbs, let's get back to that. The first 2 limbs are the Yama and the Niyama. These are ethical principles that we try to live by in order to find more peace, in order to sleep with ourselves at night, in order to meditate and be able to sit in stillness with ourselves. So the Yama and the Niyama, the first 2. The third one is asana. So that's our physical practice. Here in the West, that's what we give the most attention to. Many people come into the yoga practice through the physical practice. I did. And it's super amazing and healing and healthy and wonderful. But it is important to not acknowledge it's not the only part. And if you're only focused on that, you miss all the other amazing benefits. So it's really important to be aware of those. And if you're teaching, to be aware of those, because we want to make sure that we're appreciating the culture that yoga comes from, not appropriating it. So understanding these other limbs is really helpful there as well. So those are the first 4. Yama, Niyama are ethical principles. Asana are physical postures. And then we have pranayama. That's actually the 4th one. Pranayama, breathing exercises. That's an oversimplification of pranayama. Pranayama really is a channeling of the prana or the life force, the energy. And that can be done with your physical practice, as it is in vinyasa and ashtanga when we do that audible ujjayi breath, that audible where you're kind of sounds like the waves of the ocean. Or you can do pranayama as its own practice. And there's lots and lots of different pranayamas. And then after pranayama, that's the 4th one. The 5th one is pratyahara. So pratyahara is sense withdrawal. When you start to come inwards, and you might have sensed this sometimes if you're, if you've ever meditated and you feel tingling in your foot, and all you can feel is that tingling, that's all you can focus on. And then at some point, it goes away and you can't feel it anymore. It's when we've withdrawn from our senses. We've come inward a little bit. We're not as connected to the external environment, and we're more connected to the internal environment. So that's sense withdrawal, which might seem or sound a little odd at first, but it's something that definitely happens. You kind of pull inwards. Pratyahara. So after that, we go into concentration and meditation. This is limb 6 and 7, concentration and meditation. And a lot of times in the West, these are seen as the same thing. In the 8 limbs, they're not. Concentration is a step before meditation. We have to be able to concentrate, to focus our mind, to stay focused on one thing. So when we're focusing on the breath, we're concentrating. We're building our ability to focus. And then once our mind is strong enough to concentrate on something, then we can move into meditation, which in its truest form in the yoga sense is this clearing of the mind so that we're connected to who we really are, this divine being. So that would be meditation, which is the 7th limb. So concentration and meditation, 6 and 7. And then the last limb, the 8th limb, is samadhi. Samadhi is enlightenment or true connection to spirit. When you are spirit, when you're connected to your truest, highest self. So those are the 8 limbs. And they do work in a stepping ladder sense to some degree, because you can't go straight into samadhi. You do have to work through the other layers. However, it's not that once you get to, stage 6, you're no longer worried about these other ones. You're still doing them at the same time. So you're still working on your yama and your niyama and your physical practice and your pranayama, and you're still working your way through those steps and doing all of that when you're up here at concentration and meditation. When you work with all 8 limbs, it's more of a holistic practice. So it heals you on a deeper level, more layers and levels of healing than just the physical body. And like I said, the physical practice, so powerful and healing and helpful. So please know that it has so many benefits. But there are other benefits as well to this beautiful practice. And learning about them through the Yoga Sutras can be really powerful. We go into this book in the 200-hour yoga teacher training program. But we also go into the sutras in our sutra elective, which is open to anyone. You don't have to be a teacher for that. So if you're interested, let me know. And if you have any questions, also let me know. I really do want to hear your questions.